There was a place Suzanne told me she wanted to visit. In the middle of the ocean, there was an island that she thought would be perfect for our next vacation. It was a place both of us had never heard of. Actually, most of our friends have never heard of this place. How could that be? When you think about it, there are only a few places in the world that seem mysterious. Most vacations that we've taken have been to famous travel destinations. But this time, we wanted to feel like explorers. And what we found was really amazing. But why is this place so mysterious? How is it that no one talks about it? Does it hide some deep secret? Why are these streets empty? There are abandoned buildings up in the mountains. This hotel once was a popular place. Just look at all the rooms. Okay, I'm getting a little carried away with the music, but if you visited this place, you might ask yourself the same questions. One thing's for sure, this place needed to be explored. The land itself was made by volcanoes centuries ago. The colors of the land and water were just amazing. We've never seen so much green. It's one of the most beautiful places we've ever seen. This is the Azores. So where is this place? First, we need to look at a map.
The Azores are a group of islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and they're run by Portugal, so they speak Portuguese. We went to São Miguel, which is the largest island in the group of islands, and it's nicknamed the Green Island.
Ah, the Azores. Snow-covered hills as far as the eye can see. Just kidding. No, this isn't the Azores. This is New England, where Suzanne's parents live.
We got to see my parents and hang out with them for a few days before we set off on our big adventure.
Since our flight was leaving from Boston, we decided to visit for a few days and get a ride to the airport. After some New England sightseeing, we departed American soil for a huge climate change. From the plane, you can see the record snowfall that Boston had this year.
When we first got to Ponta Delgada, we went to our guest house. We found it on Airbnb.
Our apartment's view of the city was great, but we needed a closer look.
The streets were really narrow, and the sidewalks were like a foot wide, so we were afraid we were going to get hit by cars, but there wasn't a lot of traffic or anything. We got to see a lot of the architecture there. I guess it's traditional Portuguese architecture, and a lot of the buildings look the same, but they have a bunch of Catholic churches there.
Inside the churches was beautiful too. There was so much detail. Like the churches, another thing that was common were its parks.
There were a lot of parks and botanical gardens where they had really big trees.
We didn't spend too much time there. We had higher places to go.
What's cool about São Miguel is it's so small that when you're up high in the mountains, You can sometimes see all the way around the island, see the ocean on all sides.
Our first drive led us to this peaceful valley in Sete Cidades. We were the only people there. Next stop, we visit a symbol of the Azores.
The Azores are known for pineapple, so we got to visit a pineapple plantation and see all the little pineapples.
A sight that we just had to see was a small island off the coast. It's called Ilha Via Franca do Campo. Try saying that 5 times fast. It was like something off of a postcard. So beautiful.
One of our favorite little towns was Furnas. We loved it because they have these geothermal pools there.
Just imagine if you found a natural hot tub that was connected by a series of rivers. One of the pools was huge. The water was clay-colored because of all the minerals. These are called calderas. The town of Furnas is pretty much a giant spa. We went to take a dip in the pools on 3 separate trips.
This is where we are. So I think that's Ponta Delgada down there.
On the clearest day, we were lucky to see the highest point on the island.
The grass is so soft. It feels like a bed. Like it's just cushy like a pillow. So we're about in the middle of the island and we're up on the mountain so we can see everything.
One of the places we really wanted to see, that we're really happy we got to see, was Lago de Fogo, which means fire lake. And it's usually very hard to see it because it's very high up on the mountain. But it was such a beautiful lake. One of the most beautiful and iconic sites of São Miguel was Sete Cidades. So they have 2 lakes. There's the blue lake on the bottom and the green lake on the top.
And right next to the cliff, we found an old abandoned hotel. It was several stories high and full of secrets. Once you walk in, you can see where the lobby once was. This hotel must have been packed. There were passageways that led to the top where there was a beautiful overlook.
It was such a beautiful sight. We got to go up to this vista and look over the mountain and see the beautiful lakes.
It really was an amazing view. The hotel rooms that faced the lakes must have had some incredible sunsets. After seeing the sights from above, we went down to the valley of Sete Cidades. We hiked around some of the paths along the perimeter of the lake. We saw plenty of sights by car, but it was time to switch things up a bit.
We got to go horseback riding, and that was really fun. I'd never done that before, and it was quite an adventure.
Whenever driving directions were needed, we used our GPS, who sounded just like Paul Bettany.
Proceed to highlighted route.
Who's that with you?
That's my new dog.
We found this dog that reminded us of our own dog at home. We both missed Dobby.
We would definitely recommend anybody to go here. It was so inexpensive to eat there. They have very good beer.
All of their food was good and cheap too. The apartment we stayed in was around $50 a night. And that's even with a roof view.
If you're gonna go to the Azores, definitely don't have an agenda because you don't know what days you'll have clear days or what days you might have fog.
And if you have bad weather, there are other places to explore. We loved getting to see the military museum at the fort. It had a huge collection of weapons from World War II.
One of my favorite parts about being there was that it was just so quiet. It was such a peaceful place. There weren't a lot of tourists there. When we were there, we went during low season. It was just a really peaceful place. It was quiet everywhere you went.
I think it's important to take these kinds of vacations. Sometimes a change of scenery is really good.
I don't think there are words that can describe how beautiful this place is in real life. This video doesn't really do it justice because in real life it's just gorgeous.